everything needs to bring something to the music, make you hear it better, make you hear this, make you understand the story better, like every element. Romeo Juliet is obviously a sort of a very well-known, popular title in the dance world, which is something I actually resisted to make forever. I had to find my way to this score again, to fall in love with it again, because I hear it, or just heard it too many times, and it almost became elevator music for me, until I started to think about it for a film. And I thought, this is actually, the score, this Prokofiev score, is actually outstanding film music. And it is a score that inspired many, Hollywood films. If you think of the sort of the great scores of like Bernard Herrmann or Hollywood scores of that time. And I actually made a short film with it, with two great actors that used the Shakespeare and dance. I shot in Los Angeles. That was in preparation of my feature film. And then came the idea, because of course, video is something that I've used a lot over the years in pieces of mine. Came this idea of actually creating a live performance version of it that also combined what I like to call live cinema. The point of it for me was that, some of the drama in the piece, I felt I wanted to be more realistic. I also like the idea of having this really close intimacy, the cinematic intimacy that you can have with the camera. So the purpose of it really is to tell us there's certain aspects of the story that I think would be stronger to live when the characters you get to know in the flesh become film characters. And this, of course, wouldn't work if anything's pre-recorded. I think the audience, that sort of kills the theatricality of what it's like to live something that's happening right before your eyes in that very moment. So what we do is that you see the camera, the audience sees the camera live on stage before their eyes, and eventually the dancers and the cameraman leave the stage and the theater becomes the set. I decided I didn't want to tell, every aspect of the story. I like the idea of the suite, which is probably, I did dance West Side Story Suite at New York City Ballet for years, which is this condensed version of West Side Story, which really tells the story very well in 45 minutes. So the idea of the rivalry, the idea of this forbidden love, the idea of the awful sort of drama that takes on with the death and the peace, and all like those are all things that I think you can easily say you don't necessarily need all these other details to actually have a full experience of what the piece is meant to provide. I think for me, what makes our version special is really this idea that I didn't feel that I had the right to decide that this had to be a man and a woman. This idea of two people really falling in love in this completely visceral way. There was no reason not to have it played by two women or two men. The duets and the choreography really was meant to create something that had less sort of conventions of chivalry, of one person lifting the other. I didn't want, men are the ones who lift women. In the partnering, I think, and in relationships, sort of evenly balanced relationship, we each take the weight of each other. The person who's the Steadicam operator is one of my great friends, who was also a principal dancer with New York City Ballet, Sebastian Marcovici, who, I think in the end, the whole idea in the performance of the camera is a dancer, and it's kind of great. He's gonna be back here in New York, in a way, performing again, but behind the camera. But it's a performance. It's a dance performance. How he's gonna move for an hour and 20 minutes, and all those scenes that are very specifically blocked with the dancers. Of all the places that we've done the piece, this is probably, the most appropriate. I think the premiere of the first version, which was not a finished version at Walt Disney Hall, was also interesting because the life of the building is inside and outside, and we were alive and present in both. But here, it's it's a movie set, and it's to some extent a set that's not kind of almost like a realistic world. It's surrealist how each room is so different and extreme, and the width of the hallways, of the stairs. I'm excited to probably use really wide lenses here to feel the grandness and the madness and how extreme the spaces are. We essentially have this unbelievable movie set at our disposal, and this building is going to come to life in a unique way through the production. Everything needs to bring something to the music, make you hear it better, make you hear this, make you understand the story better, like every element. So the dance and the choreography first are really meant to, you bring your own sort of rhythms and architecture to the music that makes you hear it in an interesting way and make you maybe love it more. And the camera is the same, like every choice has to be specific. How do you film the dance? Why is the camera low? Why is it still? Why, every choice is important. And that's part of the creative process that's so fun in this piece, this added element.